Welcome back to the coverage here on New South Wales Touch Football Facebook and Bar TV. The final match of a terrific two-day tournament for the 50 years of New South Wales Touch Association Country Championships 2022. James Preston and David Stone to bring you all the action for the Mixed Opens division. The Wollongong Devils facing off against their Mid-North Coast rivals, the Port Macquarie Makos, and this one does have the making, if you will, of a very, very high-quality grand final. David Stone, who is the key architects, I suppose, of both of these sides. There's some good exponents on display.
Yeah, you've got the Wollongong Devils. I'd like to see their salary cap. They're star-studded. They're full of Australian players, ex-Australian players, and I'm looking forward to really seeing how these young kids from Port Macquarie go. We've got young Nixon that will probably lead the way for them in attack, but you also got the experience of Tanae Luck out in the link that's just come off a Player of the Series at State of Origin in the women's 35s, I believe it was. So it'll be really good to see how this matches up.
So the Devils with first use of the ball. They encroach upon that 7-metre mark and they go all the way. In fact, a lovely diving effort. And within the first raid on the Port Macquarie Makos line, they come away with a try, 1-0, Wollongong lead.
Yeah, Matt Tope on a quickie play, just on the link. Just got young Tyrone Flanagan pulling a hard corner and got him on the boy play there. So that's the experience that we'll see out of Tope. And also you got Tonegado and that out here that have got a lot of experience, but you'll see the young Port team just run.
Of course, they call Matt Tope the lighthouse. He's certainly not Nobby's lighthouse at Lighthouse Beach in Port Macquarie, as the Makos go in. So on their first raid against the opposition line, they strike back one try apiece. But yeah, Matt Tope is very much more the Eiffel Tower as opposed to Nobby's lighthouse, that's for sure.
Nice hit back there by the Port Macquarie Makos, and Shelby Granger in the corner. She didn't have much room to work with, but she got the ball down nice and clean. Nice hit back there by the Port Makos.
It's one try apiece early on in this one. So once more the Devils restart us from halfway, operating through that central passage. First receiver, and quickly flicked on. It's the defensive line up to meet them. Good pressure once more coming here from the defensive link for the Makos. Oh, great little ball turn back on the inside. They were waiting for it though, well read from Port Macquarie. Last play now, big step comes across, and that's a couple of big plays there.
Yeah, good defensive set there by Nixon and Aston Pollard in the middle. Two young kids. Nixon has been in the New South Wales Origin squad. Unfortunately hasn't made the final team yet, but he's a young kid from Port Macquarie to really watch. Got good leg speed, sharp step, and a very good pass.
Of course, it's a very strong footy area as well. The whole entire Mid-North Coast, especially Port Macquarie, when you consider there's Union, there's League, there's of course a big touch footy contingent there, so a real nursery for talent.
Yeah, it's quite good, and we always seem to compete really well in the mixed divisions. We probably don't have the quantity of players to field a men's and women's, because obviously you need a lot of players to field that and also the mix. So we do seem to get a lot of mixed teams from up that way that are really competitive in the state cups and country champs.
So Tope drives forward here. Last play now. Once more arrives to Tope. Oh, another good touch here. I think that was Nixon coming across, is it?
No, that is Kieran Gainsford, that one. So
Gainsford it is in the 3, yeah. So I've confused him for the 13 there. But
he's got the
touch.
muscles.
He's got the muscles.
Yes.
Well, here he is, Gainsford. So I think you could just call him Gaines, actually.
Yeah, or Guns. Big Guns.
Big Guns, Gainsford. Into enemy territory they come, popping the ball back towards the middle. Tope makes the touch. Last play now here for Port Macquarie. Oh, quick hands. Beautiful play back up through the middle. A lovely delay on the pass and a wonderful line run. 2 tries to 1. Port Macquarie hit back.
And that's going to be the go-to play, I believe. Nixon out of half, running an M2 shape with a passive out the back, and that's the young legs. Nice setup play there by Fisher, just jinking the ball around until they got the right man to strike dump on.
It's a nice start from both sides. Happy to throw the footy around. And Port Macquarie picking up their second try. Realistically, hasn't been many sets where either side hasn't scored so far. We've had 3 tries in about as many minutes.
Yeah, we can tell the mixed game's on. There's a lot of tries in mixed. It could be a 14-12 type of scoreline.
Well, here's hoping as the Devils head towards the line, shunned away, and back to the 7 metre mark they come. Last play now for Wollongong. What can they conjure up? The answer is not much on this occasion. Real miscommunication there. He was hoping for a little unders line, but it was never run.
Yeah, they just throw that late switch in. They've tried it a couple of times now, trying to get the Port Mako's middles just to relax.
Short they play it here. The Makos, who get towards their subs box and get players onto the field quite quickly. Another good transition from them. Here is Gainsford now. Driving hard at the line. Last play. Gainsford cut out. And unfortunately, that ball in particular, cutting out all the supporting players for the Makos.
Yeah, young Ethan Toombs there. He's only a 17-year-old kid that they've decided to bring into the side and give him a bit of experience at this level. And he just needs to turn his hips and his body on that passive pass. And that's a couple of times he just hasn't really wound into it.
So the Devils once more on the attack. Oh, well done, jamming in on the run of Tope. Tope now offering an option in support, but not quite finding him for the follow-up run. So the Makos now with ball in hand and driving forward. Still early in this match, they lead 2 tries to 1. Tope comes up to make the touch. On that 7 metre mark, they float the ball over the top and turned away once more. Looking very dangerous here are the Makos, but they've got the answers in defence. The Wollongong Devils, they'll play it as Tope hops into acting half. The touch comes up. Now head towards that interchange area. Not a bad subset. Quick flick on here for Hill. It's caught just shy of the halfway line. Burrell drops it off now. Touch comes in. And once more, an option here for Hill. Was that played at from the Makos? Yes, it was. So another set to come here for the Wollongong Devils. They might be down at the moment. It's early days. Good field position now for them. Burrell shifting it on here for Chapman. Quick play the ball. Burrell once more, scooting out of acting half. Plenty of pace on display. Linking up here with Bart Hill, who is the king of the hill here. And a second try for the Wollongong Devils. 2 apiece, a level ball game in the grand final.
Yeah, that was a good scoop through there from half by Burrell.
So good play from them to get themselves back into the equation here. Port Macquarie now with the touch off. Gainsford coming through at pace. They've worked a nice little overlap here. Way too much speed about their play as well. And driving all the way through the line is the number 18 for the Port Macquarie side.
Young Tyrone Flanagan there.
Yes, Flanagan indeed it is. So 3-2, Port Macquarie back in the lead. Didn't last for long, those level peggings there from the Devils. So still nice conditions here in the Central Coast. Just a little bit of cloud cover coming across, but I have to say it's probably been the driest weekend across New South Wales for probably 9 months at this point.
Yeah, I think they predicted a bit of rain but towards the end of this week.
Stoney, can you not?
Sorry, mate, but that's what they're saying. But it hasn't been now. It's good now.
Some of us have trips planned out to Mudgee, thank you very much, where it's already been raining a great deal. And the Devils go in once more here. There might be an injury in the act of scoring, though. Yeah, a little bit sore and sorry off the back of that dive. Let's have a look at the number here.
Not too. I think that's Tonagato that's injured himself there.
It's not what you want to see, that's for sure. He hit the ground with plenty of pace about his work. So just keep an eye on him. Still clutching at the left hip at the moment, so it could have been jarred quite badly as the cutout pass comes here from Port Macquarie. Oh, just a little too far out in front of Lattimore there.
Yeah, just a bit out of reach of Lattimore, but nice setup play again, and you can tell here the older legs of the Wollongong side, they've had a hard weekend. I don't think they've got too many subs. They've only got 3 guys in the box and 1 girl, so it's been a long weekend for them. The big dance, can they lift themselves for the grand final here?
They've managed to collect another try, put themselves back on level peggings. 3 tries apiece here between Port Macquarie and the Wollongong Devils. A battle very much of the beach areas. And that was a touch pass, so despite having that clear passage down the sideline, it won't reap any dividends for them. As Tope comes to the sideline now for the Devils. Port Macquarie on the charge once more. Flat pass at the line for Pollard. Just shy of the halfway line. Speaking of flat, that was even worse there to Nixon. They've gotten away with it now. Quick roll ball. Back into the action now. And a big dummy coming off as well. All good touch across right at the death there from Tonegado. So he has, in fact, recovered there, Tonegado. So here is Fisher. Fisher. Couple of dummies and then diving from a long way out. Tonegado again, though, watching nicely. As the Devils head towards their subs box. They keep marching up over halfway as well. Quick hands here, off to Hill.
Good defensive play there by Green and Luck.
And jamming in on the pressure there for Mawson, who had nowhere to go. So the change over here for Port Macquarie. This one nicely poised at 3 tries apiece early on between Port Macquarie with ball in hand and the Wollongong Devils. If you're just joining us, we are live from the Central Coast Regional Sports Stadium. And last play now with Nixon hopping in out of acting half. Quick hands here. They continue to fling it on. Ball back on the inside. Beautiful play. Lewis is there waiting for it. He hammers the ball into the turf. And that produces another try for Port Macquarie. 4 tries to 3 over Wollongong.
That was really good work there by Green, the winger. Thought the play was dead when good cover defence there by the link, but turned the ball back inside and Wollongong just switched off and Lewis plants the ball down over the try line. 4-3 to Port Macquarie, Makos.
So referee blows us back underway and it's touched here from Chapman. Chapman caught about 5 metres into enemy territory. Deegan marches forward. Plenty of room on offer for Deegan. Here he gets it once again. Tonegado drops it off at the 7 metre mark. Oh, intercept taken. They stepped up in the line. He's home and hosed. Don't you worry about it. Not even for a moment. The chase comes late here from Miller, but it's all academic. Lewis goes the length of the field. And a beautiful read in defence.
Yeah, up in the passing lane. And Lewis, I think he wanted the Moulet to start flapping in the wind. He's got that haircut that all the locals have got at the moment. The short back, and you can't say really short back. It's short sides and long back.
Mate, it is a party in the back, business in the front. That's how I like to look at it. You can rock up for work meetings, but you can also absolutely kick up a storm at Port Breakers, that's for sure. So the pass comes here for Wollongong Devils. Hill. And now to Tope through the middle. Good little pick up there too as well from Deegan. Back to Tope. He's a very tall man, which means he's got a long reach and he gets to ground nice and quickly there. 5 tries to 4. Wollongong reduced the margin.
Yeah, Deacon and Tope played together for a lot of years. They were playing when I was back playing. And now they're still playing and I'm not. But just he worked over Gainsford there in defence and just an inside-outside step and got him on the outside nicely, and a nice ball there by Deacon.
So here they go, Granger out of acting half. So Nixon once more having a crack. I think he's lost it in the act of putting it down. Now they say he got there in time. Geez, and Tonegado not happy. He is screaming there, throwing his hat onto the ground. Geez, I'd love to see that. Unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of a replay directly here in the booth, but for all money, I thought it was bounced. Referees are on the spot, though, so we'll back the judgment. Tonegado was adamant that there was a bit of disconnect between the grass and the fingertips. 6 tries to 4. Port Macquarie won't have any concerns about that, though. Burrell hopping in at acting half. Shifts it back here to Chapman. Chapman gets the touch. Burrell has Hill wrapping around. Oh, beautiful ball back towards the middle. Burrell was coming through. A lovely disguised pass. That's clockwork there from Wollongong Devils.
Yeah, they're just getting a little bit loose in the middle of the Port Macquarie Makos. They need to tighten it up a little bit. Here you can see the experience where the Wollongong Devils are starting to break the defence down of the Port Makos, and they really need to tighten up and get back to their structures.
So we'll see if they can do that now with Granger taking a little run. Dropped off. And away now for Pollard. Pollard trying to get away from a few of them. Back to Nixon. Drops it off here. Oh, geez. Shoddy play the ball. They're not happy once more on the sideline here. Tonagato, and again, it's going to be ruled in favour of Port Macquarie. That's 2 iffy calls in a row that have favoured the Makos, and they are taking full advantage of it. 7 tries to 5.
Definitely got away with a 50-50 there. That could have went either way, I believe, but went the way of the Port Makos, and they capitalised on the little fumble, but play-on's a call by the referees, and we got the Makos up 7-5, I believe.
7-5 indeed is the scoreline as the Devils come away with it. Tonagato is in the wars at the moment with the referee, with the field, with his hat, which has also been left behind. Tope now drives forward. And they'll get another set to play with here, the Devils. All offside, the Makos. So back to the 7-metre mark they come. Deegan to touch it as Tope wraps around. Looks to create an early opportunity out here for Mawson, who's in that link position. Tope back now to Deegan. Tonagato.
Inside play here.
Has another crack. Tonagato runs at the offside player in the form of Lewis. However, his inside man did get back in time. So the touch is affected.
4 touches, 2 touches to go here. Big set here for both sides.
Tope waits and receives. Still a couple of plays left. Not ruled here from the referee the last. However, he will rule another set to play with.
Very good defensive read there by Luck. She's a very good defender in that link spot.
Tonagato receives it. Drops it about 8 metres shy of the try line. Tope feigned to connect with Mawson. Went for it himself. Once more a good read from Luck. So back to the 7-metre mark they go. A crucial period in the match here. We've had a bit of a triathlon to start with. Now we're getting into a war of attrition, so to speak. Tonagato just can't reel it in. Or is there a touch in flight, though? Tonagato again arguing the point. I have a feeling that he would argue that the sky is in fact not blue, though.
Touch was called, but did he control it? That's the other question.
I think he was constantly trying to reel it in. At no point would I have said he had both hands on the ball, but this time he gets one in his favour, Tonagato. So
call. County's play here for Deacon.
Or Mawson back with a very flat pass. It's more than flat. It was forward. Now change it over here without firing a shot. So Port Macquarie not only survive, but now they can work it away from their own end.
It's a key part of the game here. It could go either way. It's come to a bit of a stalemate with the tries, but it is a big set here for the Port Makos. Lost
Granger
a bit of momentum.
with the dummy. Toombs hops in at acting half. All good pressure stepping up there from Tonagato. Nixon back onto the field. Fires it away. And up in the passing lane there was Deegan, who prevented any opportunity out wide.
That's a massive defence set there by the Wollongong Devils.
I was going to say exactly that, Stoney. They stepped up nicely there and shut down any opportunities for the Makos. But now they need to produce a result with ball in hand. Miller comes forward. Good touch there from Nixon. Fired off here to Tonagato. And further still to Chapman, who then promotes it before receiving it through the middle once more. Here's Hill. Hill receiving it once more. Oh, it's beaten him. All ends up. It's like watching tunnel ball if you're in year 3.
Yeah, it just rolled a little bit too far and he couldn't control it, unfortunately.
Might be a future in the NFL with a release like that. Great little snap there. Up towards halfway and over it they come. Granger. Oh, the goosey pops out there from Luck. Nixon. Gainsford. Oh, beautiful little pop pass late there for Nixon. Good movement here with ball in hand. Lewis eventually caught. Lattimore out of acting half and now back to Lewis. Toombs will centre things. Here he is again. Nice little goose step, linking up with the run there of Luck, who dives over. And 8 tries to 5. A real nice little buffer here for the Port Macquarie side.
Yeah, that's given them a little bit of space, but they must defend hard this set. They cannot relax. This Wollongong Devils side, they've got a lot of experience, and if they get a bit of momentum, they can really hurt the Port Macos. So they really have to defend hard here for this set.
So coming inside, the final 10 minutes here, about 10.5 on the clock. A 3-try buffer could be a very important one for them. Tonagato comes forward. Now Mawson hopping in and acting half as Rudd. Once more Tonagato playing it. Mawson out now. Tope plays it quickly. Close to the line. There was pressure coming from the inside for those Port Macquarie defenders, and it was enough just to put them off the game there.
Yeah, I think moving forward, Wollongong Devils, they're really going to work on them inside-outside plays. They have caused a bit of trouble there for the Port Macos, and it's something I think they'll work on, working towards State Cup, but this will not hurt the Port Macos. They cannot let Wollongong have a sniff.
They've done exactly that, changing it over in their own end as Mawson heads towards the sideline. Rudd hops out of acting half. Tonagato meets Nixon. Nixon making the touch and fired off here from Deegan into acting half. Deegan once more, the long loping pass over the top. Oh, what a ball that is. Right into the waiting arms of Brittany Rudd. Wind assisted, of course. It was backwards out of the hands.
And just quietly, Brittany Rudd is a Port Macquarie girl. But she has moved down to Wollongong. So it's good to see the Port people branching out. But once again, a nice constructed try there by the Wollongong Devils. Port got a little bit tight there and just didn't release out. See if Port Macquarie can hit back here.
Now, I know both these regions are famous for the sun, the sand, the surf, and, of course, the salt in the salt water, but you are very salty about that particular comment there with Brittany Rudd. Yes, she might be a Port Macquarie girl, but she's here for the Wollongong Devils.
Yeah,
Come on, Stoney.
No, she's a nice girl. And
well, here she is with ball in hand.
She's quite a good player as well.
Well, she's collected the most recent try, and now she's in at acting half. Rudd supplies it on. Nixon comes up with the touch, but he left too early. Referee just saying, I gave you a couple of chances there.
Big set here for both sides, I believe. Not long to go, I don't think.
So 8-6 the score. Less than 10 minutes on the clock as Tope comes forward. Mawson wrapping around. Just over 8 to be precise. I'll slow it down once more here. Off to Tope. Tope, an option on the open side once more. Oh, what a ball that is. They had a couple of unders lines which really confused the defence, and a long pass. Beautiful in its execution. And 8-7 now.
Same play there by the Wollongong Devils. They're starting to really tear and rip the the Port Macquarie defence apart.
For a moment there, I thought Greg Inglis might have been involved in the commentary, saying that Port
there.
Macquarie is, in fact, in Queensland. It would make sense.
I'm thinking Origin again, mate. My mind's gone back a couple of months.
Anything north of Sydney technically is Queensland. Is that how you're now looking, Stoney?
No, I don't think so. we're definitely New South Wales.
Okay, just had to check, buddy. Now it's played here. So they head towards the sideline. Nice little run on that occasion there from Chapman. Quick hands here from Rachel Tonagato. Tonagato to Tonagato. There's a whole ton of Gatos. They keep rolling forward. Deegan. Quick hands to Tope. Oh, lovely work here. Miller nearly open it up for Tonagato out wide. Last play now for the Devils. Tope receives it there, right back into this. Or was it touched in flight there? Geez, that was very close from Toombs.
Very close.
They might have got away with one there. It's been a couple of iffy calls, and surprised Tonagato didn't fling the hat off again in conjecture about the whole thing. Toombs comes forward. Now it's with Lewis. Good meters on offer there. They continue driving forward now with Flanagan, who straightens things. Nixon off the left foot. Now to Fisher, back out there after a bit of a rest. Great ball there from Nixon. Flanagan trying to get on the inside of them. 8-7, they still lead. One more play here.
Oh, this could be a 7-touch set, but good Good defence here by Wollongong at the moment.
Nixon, though, with the big goose step. Oh, what a pass that is. He floated it over the top. All the hard work was done with something that Denon Kemp would have been very happy about, the big goosey from midway in the attacking line.
One-on-one with Nixon is very hard to defend, and he just got the girl link just shutting down and biting him where they could have went man on. I thought Tope almost had him. Gives that little buffer again, I believe. 9-7.
Understand that it's quite hard to read my little scrawlings here on the pad. Don't you worry, Stoney. Got you covered, mate.
No, better than my writing, mate. That's fine.
I really am concerned if that's the case. I've literally drawn about 4 scratches there for 2, so it's a miracle we've got any scoreboard here. Take me back to Roman numerals. Long ball comes again, holding the width nicely is Tonagato. I thought there might have been a little bobble at the death, but they'll rule in favour of the attacking side here. So Rachel Tonagato makes it 9-8.
Yeah, 9-8. Nice quarterback play there. They got the Port Makos pulling a corner and just couldn't release the winger. They had him covered, just didn't have the leg speed to quite get there.
I think you might be right with that initial assessment of 14-12. We've still got 5 minutes to play.
That seems like a long game, just quietly.
Well, this is the last of the day, Stoney, so you can get your feet up after this, have a nice little bubble bath, put the Radox in there and let the muscles soothe.
I'm not sure about that. We've got a big pack up to do yet before we head home, so...
Some of us have it a little easier than the event staff. Not that I'm going to name names for myself or Nick.
Yeah, you just get to pack your bag and see you later. We've got to pack the whole venue down yet, so...
The joys of touch football.
That's it. That's what we do.
Nixon crabs across field and links up with Lewis. Here he is again now. Nixon playing it all. Nearly a muck up there. Oh, how about the step once more from Nixon?
Well, that's a big defensive set there by the Wollongong Devils.
They can launch a raid here. Yeah, get back on level peggings. We've got a really interesting finish coming up.
This could be a big turnaround here for the Wollongong Devils.
Good meterage from the Gong girls and boys as they head into enemy territory. Rudd provides it for Tonagato. Great pick up here from Deegan. Deegan just couldn't find the final pass. The touch came in from Nixon. He might be young, but he's shown maturity beyond his years there in defence.
That was well defended. Deegan on the back of that flow, he is lightning quick out of that, and well defended there by Nixon.
So back onto the spot. Nixon giving all the time in the world. And Tonagato, well, he's already been cautioned a few times for mouthing off. This time it's going to cost him a penalty. They march them forward a further 10 metres here, but beautiful conditions in Tuggerah for the grand final of the mixed opens here between Port Macquarie and Wollongong, a battle of the beaches. And once more, I think Tonagato's in real trouble here. He's going to be called out.
Losing his head here. He doesn't need to. This could really hurt Wollongong. He doesn't need to lose his head. They're subbing early with a couple of guys. They've got 7 on. They've said play on. That's fine. They've pulled them back.
Well, interesting there. I thought he might have been headed for the end goal itself, because typically when we see him called out like that, it's not a forced substitution. It is very much the case of a man less for a period of time.
Yeah, especially when he already been warned with the first penalty down the other end.
Big dummy comes in here from Toombs. Now to Gainsford. He's caught. Back to the 7 metre mark they come. Gainsford to Toombs. Touch comes up from Tope. Toombs again, floating a pass across. Flanagan somehow found space in between Link and Wing, and he picks up a very important try. He makes it double digits for Port Macquarie, 10-8 with not a great deal of time remaining in the grand final.
Nice floating the ball there by young Toombs, young 17-year-old coming through the pathways in this side to develop his skills. Maybe one to watch in the future.
So the Devils pretty much need to score this set if they are any hope of putting this one into the drop-off zone. 2 minutes remain. They've got a good chance here to put some numbers on the board. Tonagato back on the field now. Let's hope for his sake that he can stay out there. Tonagato, quick hands out to Rudd. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, they needed him back out there because he's done a great job to set that one up.
Nice play by Chapman as well. Another young fella actually played with Chapman in a few sides. He's a Tamworth boy from back in the day, and it's good to see him back playing. He's a very fit man, runs a lot of marathons. He just, every time you look at his social medias, it's like he's running a marathon. So nice play there by Chapman as well.
Does it ever make you feel guilty, Stoney, that he's doing all that?
No, I think I'm much better standing here than running out there.
Well, Port Macquarie are looking to run down the time on the clock here. There's only a minute remaining. Lewis to Nixon. Nixon with the fancy footwork. He wants one final try to put the nail into the coffin. They can't afford to concede here, the Devils. Nixon, ball over the top. Oh, it misses the hands of Gainsford. It's still alive here for the Devils. A final set for Port Macquarie to contest. Here they come now. Tope works it forward. They keep coming. They've waited an age to get all their players onto the field. Tonagato works it away. Couple of plays left here. Chapman out now. Last play, Tonagato drops it behind. They need to produce something. They keep it alive. They've lost track of the count here with Chapman. That'll be it for them just about.
That's a big defensive set there. I thought they were at ends there with Deacon coming on from half. They tried to run a Cindy play. Port Macquarie can't be silly here. They have to complete their set though. And there it is.
Nixon takes the final touch. And the Port Macquarie faithful, who might also be in the commentary box here, go up. There's a bit of fist pumping from Stoney. But the siren has sounded and the Makos have held on for a great little victory here in the Mixed Opens division. 10 tries to 9. It was end-to-end action. A lot of standout performers. Arguably, the pick of the bunch might have been that man wearing the lucky number 13, Nixon.
Yeah, good young player. Got a lot of skill about him, but it was really good to see the experience versus the youth in that game, and I think these two sides could really battle it out as well at State Cup against the Sydney counterparts. It'll be really good to see how they match up against the likes of the Hills and the eastern suburbs and all them sort of sides come forward to mixed at State Cup. So looking forward to mixed. A big thank you to all the New South Wales Touch staff, all the caterers, Bar TV, and anyone else I've missed, the council, local council, Central Coast Local Council. They've done a great job here with this venue, and it's a perfect facility for a venue and an event this size. Thank you to James for your commentary. You've done really well, mate.
Thank you, mate.
And leave it up to you to finish it off.
Well, there's a big victory here for the Port Macquarie Makos. They've come from further north. The Battle of the Beaches is the last match we will see here today for a wonderful two-day tournament for the 2022 Country Championships for New South Wales Touch Football. 10-9 Port Macquarie running out victors over the Wollongong Devils. And as Stoney was saying, it's been a pleasure having your company across the 2 days. We appreciate all the support of our sponsors and of course the Central Coast Council for providing this wonderful venue. Hope you enjoyed the action watching from wherever you might have been, whether it be the beach, on the couch, or right here at the grounds itself. But that'll do us for the 2022 Country Championships. My name is James Preston. Great to have your coverage and your company here on Bar TV.
Paul, Cronulla Sharks, how did you get involved with touch football?
Yeah, look, I've got to say my son, I did play touch when I was a teenager a little bit, but at no level. I've never been to a state cup, but my son Cody and Pax Kane are very good friends and go to school together. And Joel's the coach of the under-10, so we took him down and thankfully he made Joel's team. And yeah, they've been having a great time. They're undefeated so far, playing really, really well. And the way this whole event is run is outstanding. Very impressed with it. How professional it is, how on time it is, and how it just keeps rolling on. It's very good. It's my first experience at a state cup, and I'm very impressed with it.
Brad Fittler has always spoke highly of the partnership between touch football and the NRL. You would have played with some of our touchies like Kalen and Benji and Ryan Pappenhausen. Do you see the pathway working?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I did play some All-Stars games with Benji. Wasn't lucky enough to play with guys like Kalen Pong and that. They're a little bit way younger than me, actually, but did play against them. But, yeah, there's no doubt that the skill level and what they get out of touch football definitely translates to the NRL field without a doubt. And, probably not for guys like me in the position I played, but certainly in the outside backs and fullbacks and in the halves, the guys who sort of pick up the skill base here certainly reflects on the field in the NRL and obviously gives them a lot of confidence, a lot of fleet-footedness, great steps as we've seen on Ponga and Benji over the years, and yeah, without doubt I can see the pathway going forward.
I'll put you on the spot. We asked Brad Fittler last week if he was going to come to State Cup because Joel Kane's playing and Cliffy Lyons, Scott Prince, Nathan Feen. Could we maybe see you join in the Cronulla Sharks?
Without a doubt, I'd love to. I actually had a game the other night. Joel told me that his team was short. Joel didn't play, but I actually turned up and had a game, and got a couple of tries. It was with the marker though, so it was a whole lot slower. But I did say to one of the boys this week, I wouldn't mind getting involved in a real touch team, and maybe one day going to a state cup. It would be pretty cool. It's something I've never done, and look forward to it one day.
You've been a fantastic supporter of the touch football and NRL partnership. Are you impressed with the talent that's being produced by both our male and female players?
Yeah, I think every time I watch the touch, I get more and more impressed. I think when we look at pathways to rugby league, and you look at the way parents look at our game, this is the perfect pathway for a kid coming through. It teaches you all the skills, showcases speed, and the biggest thing about touch is working together, and that's everything we try to, we insist on our teams.
The weather has played some havoc this weekend with the Junior State Cup organisers, but our youngest ones are enjoying themselves. Did you ever play in conditions as tough as this?
Absolutely. When I grew up, I think we spent like 2 months of the year playing on grounds like this where, councils never seem to cancel the venue, which happens every week now, which is crazy. And you just learn to play in the mud. I also spent plenty of years over in England on kangaroo tours, playing on muddy ground, soaking wet, grey, raining, and absolutely loved it. And turning up yesterday, watching kids diving in the mud, diving in the water, and seeing the girls sit around in the mud, stinking, it just brings great resilience. And you know what could be better than being a teenager and stuck in mud?
State Cup now sees some of our ex-NRL players running around for their local touch association, like Nathan Feen, Scott Prince, Steve Menzies and Cliffy Lyons. What is it going to take to get you at the next State Cup? No pressure, but let's see you having a run around with those boys.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've done a few things where I've it's when your brain takes control of your body, and it hasn't helped me. I've trained with the girls a few times, and they're the 18s, they're pretty good. So a couple of times I try to show them up, and it cost me that night where I just lie down, had to ice. And so the body's telling me give me a few triggers at the moment, but I'll definitely try, because the area I sort of live in, Manly area, they love touch. The organisation's ran fantastic. I really wish they had a team in the state carnival that I watched before all the NRL games. So I know they're very ambitious about getting a team in soon, and they definitely deserve it. I think Manly are one of the sort of strongest clubs out of all the teams. So
any future talent you've kept your eye on this weekend for maybe an up-and-coming State of Origin player?
Heaps of talent. There is talent galore hidden. Obviously not just men either. I think the girls, if anyone, just watching them improve over the years has been incredible. So I know a lot of them are starting to play tackle football now, and then just getting them passing a footy, I think, is just a great thing. But there is talent galore, both male and female.